Wonderful. Yay. Happy Saturday, everybody. We're going to start standing for just a little moment, coming into a standing forward fold of your choice. Begin with your feet wider than hips distance, parallel. Bend your knees a lot. Now you can either interlace the fingers behind your back if you want to open up the fronts of the shoulders more, or you can hang forward and catch hold of opposite elbows. However you want to fold forward, make sure that you're shifting your weight slightly heavier onto the balls of your feet than your heels. And the knees are so bent that you could truly release the spine, including your neck. Now, as you let your head be heavy, you might even gently shake it a few times. Lift your shoulders up and away from your neck and feel that space as you relax your jaw. You might even like to sway the spine or begin to straighten one leg and lean your torso towards it, offering the hamstring and calf a gentle stretch. Now really just going upside down to turn the page of what you were doing just before now and get settled into paying more attention to your states of being physically and energetically. We talked yesterday about how our thoughts affect our emotions, which affect our vibration, which affect our ability to create what we truly desire through the law of attraction. This goes along the series of classes that we've been focusing on samskaras, which are the ingrained habits within our mind or in our unconscious that affect our daily choices, and how we can become aware of these samskaras and transform the more harmful ones into more positive ones. And now we're diving a little deeper into the law of attraction. So now releasing the arms if they're not already, bend your knees and slowly roll up as you breathe in, lifting one vertebra at a time so the head comes up last. And once you come all the way up there, just roll out the shoulders a few times, then find a comfortable seat of your choice. So I'm going to dive a little deeper into this book because I think it offers so much wonderful information for positive mind. It's called The Amazing Power of Deliberate Intent, Living the Art of Allowing by Abraham Hicks. So it says that the variety or contrast that surrounds you is of tremendous value, even challenge, including stressful times. We talked a few days ago about crisis and how we can use that as an opportunity for positive change. So the value of the contrast for its data from which your personal preferences and desires are born. Because of that contrast, seeing and feeling what we don't want, we begin to amplify what we do want. We begin to clarify. So you are a creator, and you create through the power of your focus. Furthermore, the reason that people find themselves not receiving or creating their desire often is because they're holding themselves vibrationally apart from their own desire. The vibrational frequencies of what they want and what is dominantly active within them must balance. Yesterday, we talked about the value of letting go. And when you tell someone who is so frustrated or angry or emotionally charged to just let go, it can actually be annoying. So instead of that, it's going step by step, reaching for a better feeling thought, so that you, in your own volition, transform how you feel thought by thought. Here's an example of doing that process. Imagine this contrasting situation of loneliness. Person who thinks to themselves, I don't have many friends. Really, I don't even have one really close friend, and it's not much fun going through life alone. I've had friendships in the past, but nothing that really clicked. It seems like people are just looking for what they want. They can get out of me, but they don't really want to give anything back. I feel discouraged and lonely. The resulting desires created from that contrast is then, I want a really good friend. I want friendships that are mutually beneficial. The resulting emotions or indications of vibrational discord from their desire would be, I feel discouraged. I feel lonely. There's a significant discord between the desire and the beliefs. So how do you move little by little, thought by thought, up the scale of feeling better and thus changing the way you're vibrating? Well, here's some thoughts. You might think, I've always been quite independent. I don't enjoy the feeling of being needed or of being in need. I do enjoy stimulating conversations. I do like funny things, and it's always fun to laugh with others. And notice as you feel the thoughts genuinely, as you create them yourself, your own emotions start to feel a little lighter. That's the process of letting go, or can be. One more example. Let's talk about money, the feeling of contrast in abundance. Starting with, I never get ahead financially. It seems like unexpected things constantly come up, so I have to spend everything I make, and I have a lot of credit card debt too. So I'm actually spending more than I'm making. I try to budget, but everything costs so much. I feel worried. I feel discouraged. So the resulting desire from that contrast may be, I want ample money to do the things I want and need to do. I want to get out of debt. I want to be able to do nice things for my family. So the discord vibrationally found in the emotions are the feeling of being worried, feeling discouraged. So thought by thought, moving through the path of least resistance might start with, well, we do have a comfortable lifestyle. I can't think of anything that we really need that we don't have. We're really living so much better than our parents did when they were our age. Our children rarely complain about any shortage. Our children are so eager about their lives. It's so rewarding to be a parent of children like these. Notice how the thoughts coming from a true place help to transform. And it's so powerful in the thoughts that we choose and being aware of them, as the yoga practice says. From the Yoga Sutras, I want to end with this quote. To one established in truthfulness, actions and their results become subservient. I like to think of that as integrity. Thinking, doing, feeling in alignment with what you actually want. Because we can hold a desire, but we can hold ourselves back from the desire, from the resistance that we feel. So how do we little by little release or practice the art of allowing? Let's start with our bodies. So as you're sitting up, grounding, lifting the spine, maybe closing your eyes, tune into any sensations within your body right now. Perhaps your mind goes to a place that feels tension in some way. Well, let that contrasting feeling of what you want help to clarify what you do want. Using the body as a tool to experiment with this process. Letting all information to be good information as you clarify your intention for this practice. Perhaps it's not in the physical body, perhaps there's some kind of resistance in the mind or in the emotional realm. Or maybe you feel just wonderful and that's great. How do you savor that? And as you set your intention, not only for this hour, but perhaps for the rest of your day as you focus on what you do want. Let's join the hands together in prayer and take a deeper breath in. Like you're fogging a mirror, open the mouth and whisper it out. Breathing in deeper. Find a sweet pause at the top of the breath while relaxing the body. Then again through the mouth, whisper it all the way out and hold the breath at the bottom. This time, breathe in slowly. Close the lips and gently narrow the back of your throat, creating a softer whispering sound through the nose. As you hear your breath, consciously balance it in and out, sustained. through this inner state of balance so that we can move with physical balance of how we intensify or relax within the poses. Gently open your eyes and let's come into all fours, hands and knees. Setting your wrists a couple inches ahead of your shoulders, come up high on your fingertips. So you really press down through the tips of your fingers to hollow out the center of your palms. With your knees right under your hips, let's begin cat-cow like this, strengthening the wrists. As you breathe in, roll your shoulders behind you, lifting the chest as you broaden it so the tailbone lifts too. Cow pose. As you breathe out, contract your belly and feel your tailbone tuck under your body as you drop the skull. Cat pose. Keep going. Inhale, stretching the lower back. Right under the shoulder blades, arch the upper middle back. Exhale, firming the abdomen and rounding the spine. Keep going a few more times like this. Feel as you're rooting down through the fingertips, you're lifting up through the center of your palms, using the contrast to create stability, to create balance. Then on your next exhale, relax to a neutral spine and flatten the palms to the floor so the index fingers are facing forward, parallel to each other. Spread the thumbs really flat and tuck your toes behind you to lift your hips as high as you can towards the rear of your mat in downward facing dog. Now, whether you want to hold still or pedal the feet or shift around, take a few breaths of your choice. Massaging the breath in through the lungs, into the belly, through the back of the throat as you exhale through the nose. A warming Ujjayi pranayama, meaning victorious breath. Now, as you start to hold still in downward dog, feel these. You're spreading your weight through the entire surface area of each palm, lifting the shoulder heads back as you drop your skull down. You're wrapping your triceps or outer upper arms towards the mat, broadening the shoulder blades as you firm the sitting bones high towards the back wall. And drawing the belly towards the spine. Let's take a couple last breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then slowly walk your hands back towards your feet to fold over your legs. Feel free to bend your knees as much as it allows most length in your spine. With the weight slightly heavier on the balls of your feet, press your fingertips either on the ground ahead or on your legs. Lifting the chest forward, look towards the tip of your nose for a few breaths here in Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Now feel that you're continuously lengthening through your spine, through the sternum, middle of your chest, and engaging the belly towards the back, lengthening the sides of your neck, the sides of your torso. Take another inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Firming down through your feet, inhale, raise your arms towards the sky to stand up. Sealing the palms, look up. Exhale, trace your thumbs together at your heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's step to the front of your mat. We'll start a slow flow as we begin to warm up the body. Arms by your sides in Tadasana. Breathe in, reach the arms overhead, catching hold of your left wrist with the right hand. Breathing out, lift the sides of your waist and side bend to your right, firming the left foot to the ground. Inhale, rise up to center, catch hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Lift the sides of the waist as you exhale, lean to the left, grounding the right foot heavier. Inhale, up to center again. This time, open both arms and exhale to fold forward. Press your legs to the floor and inhale, lift the chest, lengthening the spine. Exhale, lower the fingertips, step the left knee back and untuck the toes. Breathe in and circle the right arm behind you like you're backstroking. Breathe out and flex the right foot. Use the right hand to gently splay the inner right thigh open so you're leaning on the knife outer edge of the foot. Breathe in here and elongate your torso towards the front and center of your mat, sliding the left shoulder blade down the back. Breathe out, rotate the chest towards the right wall or ceiling. Then inhale, set your 2 hands flat on the ground and step into plank pose of your choice. Whether your legs are straight or your knees are on the ground, let's take 3 breaths. Inhale in plank, stack your shoulders right above your wrists. Exhale, lift the sides of your waist, engage the belly. Inhale, look at the floor in front of your hands, lengthen the neck. Exhale, firm the legs if they're straight. 1 more breath in. Slowly as you exhale, shift forward, bend your elbows to hug your side ribs through 4-limb staff pose or Chaturanga, coming all the way down. Inhale, point the toes and coil your chest up lightly into baby cobra. Press down to your hands and exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Breathe in, slow breath out. As you inhale, raise the left leg up behind you. As you exhale, bend your left knee and rotate the thigh open at the hip. Inhale, draw the right hip further back. Then exhale, step the left foot directly inside of your left hand. Come into a high lunge. You're on the ball of the right foot. From down through both feet, hips width parallel, and rise all the way up to Crescent Lunge. Breathe in here in Crescent Lunge. Put a little bend in the right knee to drop the tailbone downward. Now as you exhale, begin to scissor the left hip back and then fold towards your left leg, just enough where you can maintain your balance. Firm the belly in, firm the front thigh. Inhale, bend the left knee, arms overhead in Crescent Lunge. Exhale, scissor the left hip back towards straightening the leg. Chest forward as you bow, just the degree that you can maintain your balance. 1 more time. Inhale, lunge, arms overhead, tailbone down. Exhale, scissor the left hip back towards straightening the legs. Bow forward in this wide pyramid, hands free if you can. Inhale, back to lunge. Exhale, lower the fingertips at the top of the mat and step forward to fold. Inhale, circle the arms, rising all the way up to stand. Catch hold of the right wrist. Exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale, rise to center. Catch the left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Open both arms. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, press the legs to the floor, lengthen the spine. Lower your fingertips. Exhale, step right knee back, untuck the toes. Inhale, backstroke your left arm. Exhale, flex the left foot and press left hand on inside of left thigh, gently splaying it open to roll onto the outer foot. Inhale, lengthen the torso down the center line of your mat towards the front. Exhale, the shoulder blades down the back and rotate the chest towards the left wall or ceiling. Take another breath in as you lower both hands flat and step into plank, top of a push-up. Holding there as you exhale, look forward, lengthen the neck. Inhale, keep in plank, broaden the chest, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, lift the navel towards the spine. 1 more breath here. As you exhale, shift forward, passing through Chaturanga. Either choose to lower all the way again for Cobra, or flip the toes there into upward facing dog. Breathing in, lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Breathing out, contract the belly and lift your tailbone up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, bend the knee and turn open at the hip. Inhale, tack your left hip further back. Exhale, lightly step the right foot just inside of your right hand for Crescent Lunge. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Breathe in to rise with arms overhead, bending the left knee. Exhale, draw the tailbone towards the earth. Inhale in Crescent Lunge. Begin to scissor the right hip back towards straightening the right leg. Exhale as you bow forward, just the degree you can maintain your balance. Gentle stretch in the back of the body. Inhale, re-bend the right knee, arms overhead, Crescent Lunge. Twice more. Exhale, scissor the right hip back, elongate the chest forward and fold. 1 more time. Inhale, Crescent Lunge, arms overhead. Exhale, scissor the right hip back, chest forward, and fold. Inhale, Crescent Lunge. This time, exhale, lower the fingertips to the top of your mat and step forward to fold. Inhale, circle your arms up towards the sky, palms meet. Exhale, hands together at your heart in Mountain Pose. Sun, Salutation B. Let's step the feet together so they touch for chair. Inhale, bend your knees together, sitting towards your heels, raise the arms. Exhale, shift your weight forward to Bow Uttanasana. Inhale, press with your hands, lift the heart, look forward. Either step to plank to lower or lightly jump to Chaturanga if you practice that. Through your vinyasa, inhale to Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale back to Downward Facing. From there, inhale, raise the right leg. We're going to do a variation of Sun Salutation, be a little different. Exhale, step the foot forward to Crescent Lunge, just like the lunge we did before. Inhale, rise and Crescent Lunge, arms overhead. Spin the back heel to the floor and slide the right foot a few inches to the left for Warrior Two. Let's slow this down in the semi-flow. See that your right heel intersects the arch of your left foot. As you open the arms, your wrists stack just above your ankles. Spine is tall with the pelvis upright, engaging the lower belly. The gaze is directed just past the right hand. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, flip the right palm up, sweep it overhead towards the rear of your mat so the left hand lands lightly on your left leg. Peaceful warrior, keeping the same bend in your right knee towards the front of your mat. Feel the length of your right side body. Breathe into it. Take one more breath in. Exhale your two hands at the top of your mat, step to plank and lower into your choice of vinyasa. You could also replace it with cat-cow if you prefer something less intense. You always have an option. Rest when you need. From Downward Facing Dog, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, step the foot forward to Crescent Lunge. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead. To your right side, open up to Warrior Two by spinning the right heel down and sliding the left foot a few inches to the right, aligning left heel to intersect arch of right foot. And as you open the arms, the chest turns to face the right side of the room. Wrists stack just above your ankles as you gaze just past your left hand. Taking one more breath here in Virabhadrasana 2 as we mark our routes for our next flow. Flip the left palm up, lift through the sides of your waist, and sweep the left arm overhead towards the rear of your mat. Peaceful warrior. Landing the right hand gently on the right leg. Feel that you're still bending your left knee directly towards the front and center of your mat. Take another breath in. Then as you exhale, lower your two hands and take your vinyasa of choice. If you want more rigor, you can lift the left leg as you lower. Make sure you do it on both sides. We'll meet in Downward Facing Dog, taking 3 to 5 deep breaths. In this pause, observing. As you rebalance your breath, noticing the quality of your thoughts and how they are empowering your practice of choosing the path of least resistance. With bent knees, look in front of your hands. At the end of your exhalation, lightly land your feet at the top. Forward fold, feet touch. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. With knees touching, inhale, sit low in chair pose, leaning towards your heels. Then exhale to rise up to mountain. Now let's take the route we just practiced in a continuous flow. One breath, each posture. Go at your pace of breathing as much as possible. Arms by your sides. Here we go. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step or lightly jump back into your vinyasa of choice. Breathing in. Breathing out, we'll meet in downward dog. From there, inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step the foot forward to a high lunge. Inhale, rise up to crescent pose. To your left side, exhale, open up to warrior two. Flip the right palm. Inhale, peaceful warrior towards the rear of your mat. Lower the hands and exhale, take your vinyasa. Breathing in as you lift your chest. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Second side. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, step the foot forward to a high lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent pose. To your right side, exhale, open up, warrior two. Flip the left palm. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Lower your two hands at the top. Exhale, lower to flow. Remembering you could always skip this flow part and go straight to downward dog if you notice your breath becoming violent. Let your breath guide you. Let the sensations in your body guide you. About 3 more breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Do you feel your solid connection to the earth through fingers spread? Allowing a lift of your hips to create length in your spine. With bent knees, look forward. At the bottom of your out breath, lightly land at the top. Breathe in, lift your heart forward. Breathe out, bow in towards yourself. Inhale, bend your knees together, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, root into the earth to rise up towards the sky. All right, last time at it, same sequence. Inhale, chair. We're energizing here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step or lightly float back into your vinyasa. Breathe in as you lift your heart. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step forward to high lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent pose. To your left, exhale, open up, warrior two. Flip the right palm. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Lower the two hands. Exhale, lower into your vinyasa or straight to downward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last side. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale the foot forward to a high lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent. To your right, exhale, open up, warrior two. Flip the left palm, inhale, peaceful warrior. Lower the two hands. Exhale down into your vinyasa. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll meet for a few breaths in downward facing dog. So we help to eliminate any stagnant energy through the sun salutations or continuous flow, whether in the mind or the body. So that releasing that process of letting go, we can create space for consciously what we're choosing to create. Bend your knees, look in front of your hands, bottom of the breath, lightly land at the top. Feet touch, inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Knees touch, inhale to chair pose. Now option 1, stay in chair and stand in mountain whenever you feel ready. Option 2, if you're feeling gung-ho for an arm balance, start to make your way into crow bakasana by bending the knees wide apart as the inner edges of the feet stay together and the heels stay lifted. And crawling your hands flat, a foot in front of your toes, looking ahead of your fingertips on the ground. As you bend your elbows back, the arms stay parallel. As you hollow the belly, the knees climb up towards the armpits, the upper arms. And by looking forward, you help to shift your weight forward, possibly lifting a toe or more off the floor. And if the feet are off the ground, try lifting your heels towards your glutes and maybe beginning to straighten the arms as you hollow the belly and breathe. Wherever you are, breathe into the space that you're creating. And as you feel ready, we'll meet eventually in mountain pose, standing tall, very top of your mat. In mountain pose, shift your weight onto your left foot. And start by flexing the right foot and lifting the knee just to the height of your hip. As you feel your center here, lift your frontal hip bones and balance the height of your two hips as you balance your shoulders over the hips. Now rotating the right leg externally, wrap the sitting bone downward and hug the inside of your left ankle, calf, or thigh in tree, Vrikshasana. Now feel how your hands are pressing together to hug your midline. Do the same with your legs. Let them press into each other firmly so you feel that opening in the right hip. Do the same with the ground. Press into the ground firmly so you feel that rise up, playing with contrast to create what you want. Space, balance, ease. Maybe reach the arms overhead. Feel the contrast in the breath. You're taking it all in and letting it go. Yeah, let's take one more breath here in tree pose. Then bend your right knee in front, come back to that first position we started with. Take a breath in, feel your center, and set the right foot down. And let it go, shake it out, like the animals do after the flight or fight reaction. Start with a clear slate. Second side, feet touch. Join your hands together. Shift your weight onto the right foot, spread your toes. Bend the left knee just in front of you and flex the foot. Balance the seesaw of your left and right hips. Center contained, breathe. Turning out your left leg, wrap the sitting bone downward towards the inner right heel. Hug the inside of your right ankle, calf or thigh, and play with a contrast to create space and balance. Rooting down, rise up. Drawing inward, expand. Releasing the exhale. Welcome the inhale. Finding clarity through the contrast. Let's take a few more breaths. Breathing into every cell of your body. Positive thoughts, feeling, energy. Rejoin your hands. Bend the left knee in front of you again. Find your center there. Yeah, and then set it down. Shake it out. Dance it out. Then we'll step the feet to the center of the mat, facing the wide width. As you open your arms, jump or step the feet as wide apart as your hands to start. Then go a couple inches shorter. So we're preparing for triangle. From your hips, rotate your legs and pivot your feet too, so that your left foot becomes your front foot, aligning your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot for Trikonasana. Open the arms and slide your hips towards your right foot, the rear leg. Reaching the left hand forward past your left knee, then down either onto your left leg or just to the left side of it, maybe using a block. Not too high, not too low. Find the balance of opening up your body without overexertion. Wrap the left sitting bone underneath the body. Draw your left hip crease back towards your outer right heel. Firm down through your outer right heel and lengthen the top of your head forward. If it feels okay on your neck, set your gaze up past your right thumb as we take about 4 more breaths here in Utthita Trikonasana. As you broaden across the arms, representing radiating energy from your heart center. Feel your wingspan, because we're going to take those wings in a moment and soar. Kind of literally. As we making our way to Halfmoon, you might bring your right hand to your right hip to prepare for flight. Bend your left knee, crawl your left fingertips about 6 inches ahead of your left pinky toe to the left. Drag your right foot forward, flex the foot, and lift the heel to the height of your hip. Remember that left hip crease you press back in triangle, do the same here. And now you might stretch both your wings apart or keep the right hand on your right hip. Steady breath, find a focus point for your eyes. Like tree pose, feel the ground and root into it to feel uplifted. Feel the contrast in the breath. Any variation you want to add here, lifting a finger or more, bending the right knee and catching the top of the foot for full moon or Ardha Chandra Chapasana. And when you feel ready to, try to slow motion step back to Warrior Two, a shorter stance of Warrior Two. Nice, and once there, straighten both legs and rotate from your hips to pivot both feet to face the opposite direction. So now your right foot is your front leg. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot for the second side of triangle. Reopen your arms and slide your hips towards your left foot. Reach the right hand past your right knee and then down to your leg or to the right side of your leg. Use the sensations in your body and any shifting in your breathing to guide you to the intensity of the posture. Now feel that you're wrapping your right glute and sitting bone underneath your body through the turnout of that right leg. And you're also drawing the right hip back towards your left outer heel while elongating your torso forward towards your right foot. Gaze might be up towards the left thumb, taking about 4 more deep breaths. If you tend to experience lower back pain in this pose, make sure your right hand is high enough and that you're firming the abdomen towards the spine. If you're experiencing tension in the neck, same thing, make sure your right hand is high enough so that you can draw the shoulder blades free away from the neck. Preparing for flight into Halfmoon, look down at the floor in front of your right foot. Steady your gaze. Maybe place your left hand on your left hip if you want that support in transitioning. Bend your right knee, crawl your right fingertips about 6 inches ahead of your right pinky toe to the right upper corner, then drag your left foot forward and flex it. Lift the heel towards the height of your hip and reopen your chest to face the wide width of your mat. Same side as in triangle. And then from here, as you feel out your stability through your breath, playing the contrast of rooting down and rising up to expand. Experiment with any variation in this pose, raising the left arm, spreading your wings, lifting a finger or more, bending the left knee into Chapasana. Allowing these physical postures to be contexts through which we practice the qualities we're cultivating within ourselves. Whether it be courage, the ability to allow, self-trust. And then when you decide, take your time to very softly step back to Warrior Two. So from there, let's pivot the feet parallel for a moment in a wide-legged forward fold. A little cooling posture. So bring your hands to your hips, roll the shoulders back and breathe in. Hinge from your hips and elongate your spine as you exhale to fold, shifting a little more weight towards the balls of your feet. Lower your fingertips and decide to either use your hands to begin to crawl back or to clasp your fingers, your peace fingers, onto your big toes, gently pulling yourself in as you bend the elbows apart, drop the skull, and soften the shoulders up away from your neck. That's Parangusthasana. Whatever variation. If needed, make sure that you're bending your knees enough to prevent rounding the back. Feel more length and space, especially in your neck. A lot of strength in the legs here to support the back. Now begin to crawl the fingertips forward so that your spine lifts parallel to the floor, halfway up. Two options here for our spinal twist. Either set your right hand down, front and center, raise the left arm and twist at the waistline, keeping the pelvis balanced, or cross the right hand to the outside of the left ankle or calf and wrap the left arm behind your back like a bind, maybe pressing the top of your right thigh bone back to help maintain the squaring of your hips as you deeply rotate the chest. Whatever variation, about 3 more breaths. Keep leaning your weight forward. Feel the strength of your quadriceps, front of your thighs. Belly in, chest turning, shoulders lifting as the head drops. Begin to unwind by placing both hands forward on the ground. And then try for the same variation on side 2. Left hand to the floor, right arm up. Or left hand to the outside of the right calf or ankle. Right arm wraps behind you, pressing the top of the left thigh bone back as you deeply rotate the rib cage. Feel that you're twisting across your waistline, keeping your 2 hips stable as if you could balance a book across your lower back. One more deep breath. And begin to lower your 2 hands forward. Let's simply here come down to your knees where you are. And we'll prepare for either Dolphin Pose, 2 rounds, or headstand or handstand if that's normally part of your practice, continuing with these inversions. If Dolphin, I can walk you through, I'll do that too. Otherwise, if the other 2, do it on your own. So Dolphin, bring your elbows to the floor exactly under your shoulders. Either parallel the forearms with palms face down or interlace your fingers, which is helpful if your mat is slippery. Root down through your forearms and tuck your toes to lift your hips up like downward dog. Then, as you press down through your forearms, let your head hang or look forward. But remember, in Dolphin, you're not bearing weight on your head. You're also lifting the shoulders away from the neck. If possible, walk your feet forward towards your elbows while pressing your chest back towards your shins. You want to keep your shoulders above your elbows or behind your elbows slightly, but not in front of your elbows. And then after 5 breaths or so, take a moment to rest if you need it in Child's Pose, and then take 1 more round on your own. Other variations of Dolphin Pose could include stepping the feet together, lifting one leg straight up and flexing the foot, squaring the hips, and then switching sides. If you practice Paschimottanasana, that's where you lift both legs, you could come into that. So taking your time in your heating inversion practice, we'll meet in Child's Pose for a few breaths. Once you've rested for a few breaths in Balasana, Child's Pose, start to make your way into Downward Facing Dog. From Downward Facing Dog, bring your feet together to touch and raise the right leg up high. Bend the knee and slide your right shin across your mat in front of your pelvis, coming into single pigeon. If you know that this posture is not okay for your body right now, you can lie on your back and take the supine version called thread the needle instead. If you are taking the upright version, straighten the left leg behind you as you sit and tuck the toes for a moment, placing your hands alongside your hips so that you can lift your hips and scissor the right hip back, the left hip forward, until they're evenly facing the front. If there's a gap between your right glute and the floor, put something in the gap to balance your pelvis, like a pillow, a block. Now, here's an offering for variation of single pigeon. Unless you prefer to fold forward or do the spinal twist, the other thread the needle, you slide the left knee back as you lean the torso forward, and then you bend the left knee. This could be plenty. You start to feel a stretch in the front of your left thigh. Or you could add backstroking the left arm and catching hold of whatever you can reach of that left foot. If you have a strap or something like it, you can lasso the top of your foot or your shin. And so in this reaching back with the left arm, you feel the external rotation of the left upper arm bone in the shoulder socket. You're opening the front of the chest, the front of the shoulder, the chest. But you're also bringing the left leg closer to you to give your quadricep and perhaps your hip flexor space. So wherever you're feeling your body respond, breathe there in your mind's eye. Visualization. Notice if any tension creeps up elsewhere while you're opening your hips. Just expanding your awareness here for about 4 more breaths on the side of single pigeon. Deep breath in. And if you have hold of your back leg, gently release it. If you're on your back and you're doing the supine version, just take a moment to circle out your legs before you switch sides. Otherwise, let's go back to downward facing dog. Raising the same leg, the right leg overhead, bend the knee, turn open at the hip, stay here, shake out the leg, or flip it over into tripod back bend, which is also called wild thing, where you step the ball of your right foot outside left edge of the mat, bending the right knee, lifting the pelvis as the left leg stays straight. You're leaning on the outer edge of the foot flexed. And you're coiling the chest up towards the sky, reaching the right hand past the front of your mat. Take a lion's breath. Deep inhale through the nose. Stick out your tongue and open your mouth wide. Let's come back to downward facing dog if you're doing the upright version. Inhale, raise the left leg. Bend the knee and slowly cross your left shin in front of your pelvis onto your mat. As you come down to sit, slide your right leg straight behind you and tuck the toes for a moment. Then place your hands alongside your hips to lift your hips off the floor and scissor your left hip back, the right hip forward, creating balance, maybe placing something under your left glute. Then untuck the back toes. So you might explore the same variation as you did on side 1. If you reached for the back leg, lean forward with your torso and bend your right knee so that you're not pressing your kneecap against the floor. You're pressing your thigh. Then you might add backstroking your right arm to open the front of the shoulder, catching hold of your right ankle or foot. By bringing that foot closer to your glute, you might feel more lengthening in your right quadricep, hip flexor, while you're opening the front of your right shoulder. Scan your body and expand your awareness. Visualize breathing into all the areas that are wanting your attention. Tuning into your felt sense. About 4 more breaths. Thank you, body, for telling me what I need to know. And then gently release the leg if you have it. Let's Make your way back to downward dog, lifting the left leg. If you're on your back, feel free to take either happy baby, supine frog, where you bend the knees wide apart, or straddle the legs straight apart. If you're lifting the left leg in downward dog, maybe you take the variation you did on the first side. If it was tripod back bend, flip it over and lift the pelvis high, drop the head back. Wherever you are, let's take another lion's breath. Really releasing. Deep inhale through the nose. This time cross your eyes, open them wide, stick out the tongue, let it go. Wherever you are, gently make your way up to sit. As you come to sit, extending your left leg forward, let's prepare for a spinal twist. Either stepping your right foot in front of the hip, crossing it outside your left knee, which will take you further into it, or also bending your left knee. Find the variation that allows you to sit tall, grounding the pelvis. Circle the right hand behind your pelvis and raise your left arm up. Press into the ground and breathe in to lift and lengthen your spine. As you breathe out, turn your chest to the right and lower your left arm, either onto your shin or hook your elbow outside the thigh. Now root into the ground and lift up through the crown of your head as you slide the shoulders down. Keep your chest uplifted, your throat open as you continue to spiral deeper into the twist. About 3 more breaths. If you're looking for more leverage and you feel like it's needed, you could use your left peace fingers and clasp your left big toe and kind of pull yourself in, finding a balance of effort and ease. Let's take 1 more breath. At the end of the exhalation, unravel your spine to face forward and straighten both of your legs. Second side, try to set up the same way. So left foot in front of the hip, outside the right knee, or also bend the right knee. Place the left hand behind your pelvis, raise the right arm up. Root down through your sitting bones and breathe in to lengthen your spine. Breathe out to turn your chest to the left and lower your right arm, either on your shin or hook the elbow outside your thigh. Press into the ground. Each inhale, use the contrast of rooting down to lift up and create space. Breathing out, rotating the chest while stabilizing the pelvis and the lower back. If you're looking for a little more leverage, you can use your right peace fingers to clasp your right big toe and gently pull yourself deeper. About 3 more breaths. Notice if there's any tension in the face. If you notice it in the jaw, you could flutter the lips a few times. That's always fun. Notice the neck, the shoulders, the scalp. At the end of this exhalation, gently unwind to straighten both legs forward. Dandasana. Separating your feet hips width. Raise your arms overhead and flex your feet in a way of pressing the big toe mounds forward so that you can feel your inner thighs slightly rotate downward as if you're pigeon toeing your feet, but you're doing it from the hips, not the ankles. Then as you raise the arms, root down through the sitting bones, feel like mountain. You're pressing into the ground to get taller and taller with each breath. Relax the shoulders, and then imagine there's a string pulling your sternum past your big toes, leading with a heart. As you keep the throat open, lower your hands to catch hold of the backs of your legs, or maybe clasp your big toes. Then breathe in and lift the chest, slide the shoulder blades down the back. Breathe out, lengthen your lower spine from the pelvis, and fold. Keeping a slight lift in your chest as you're bowing in. Let's take just about 3 more breaths here in Paschimottanasana. Greeting the backside of your body with your breath. Now remember that string pulling your sternum. Feel it lifting up so that you lead with a heart and inhale to rise. So as we come into the last pose before Shavasana, you might like to scoot by a wall and come into legs up the wall pose lying on your back. Or if you practice shoulder stand and you don't have any injuries in neck or shoulders, you can come into that. Or simply straighten your legs up or bend the knees, just so you're lifting your legs up higher than your heart to help increase circulation, cool down, and calm the nervous system. Also stimulating digestion. Take just about 5 breaths or so in that cooling inversion. You might focus on lengthening your out breaths even slower than your in breaths in the process of cooling down. And if you're practicing a full-on shoulder stand or plow, you might like to move into fish pose for just a few breaths as you're lowering your body. And begin to place your body in a comfortable position where it can completely rest and be still. Welcoming your full presence as you close your eyes and let go of controlling your breathing. Allowing an open space to dive a little deeper with little to no effort. Now, while keeping your eyes closed, begin to breathe in through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the lips, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With soft, gentle movements, begin to wake up your body and ease into a stretch. Perhaps keeping your eyes closed. Eventually, either turn over to your right side or rock yourself forward and back to gradually rise up for a 2-minute sitting meditation. Well, it's important to empower ourselves to retrain our thought patterns and consciously create our reality. Preliminary to that is to be able to know our thought patterns. And that's what meditation can offer, sitting and being with whatever arises in the mind and being able to observe it with neutrality as you continue to anchor your attention on your breathing, natural breathing. Let's take 2 minutes of that. Let's begin to join the palms together at the heart, lifting your heart as you bow in to greet your inner being, your source of clarity. Closing the practice with one Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. So, in a few days, in continuing the practice of letting go in various ways, I'm going to be sharing a morning meditation movement practice that I do at home each day. It's called Soul Movement, and it's without the yoga mats and more freedom of space and using your own unique vocabulary of moving. And it's really about listening to your intuition and letting go of the inner critic. And you could even have your camera off if you like. You could have the lights dark, however you want to do it. And the first half of the hour is me guiding you through until you just go with it and explore your space physically and externally. And then we cool down with Yin and restorative yoga, which is deep stretch and long held, sustained, relaxing postures so that we can sit for about 5, maybe 10 minutes of meditation, depending on the group's comfort. And the theme this Thursday class will be resilience. So I invite you to join us. It's also by donation, and you can already find a link where you found the link to this class on the same website. So it's this Thursday night at 6 p.m. LA time, California time. Yeah, let me remove you guys from mute.